Hey folks, this isn't a particularly happy little mini video. I've got the next My Life in Film ready to just be edited and put out, but I really can't bring my mind to it at this point in time. It's currently 10:25 on Sunday the 4th of October, and I've woken today to the terrible news that Cineworld will be closing its venues across the UK and also the Regal chain across the US as a reaction to the continuing moving and pushing back of the major releases. Now, there's no love lost between me and Cineworld. It's been echoed on the social media channels and also on my multiple blogs over the years exactly where I felt with regards to that company when I was put in a situation where I could have kept the job and I could have stayed there and grown, but I chose to take redundancy from them because I didn't like the direction they were going in as a company. I had personal issues with them, but I would never wish closure upon anyone. And the people whose jobs are going to be lost over this, and as much as Cineworld is saying that they will be reopening all their sites again further down the line, I wonder whether some of them will remain closed forever. It's a really horrible time, and if one of the industry giants, they have the second biggest chain in the US, and they are the biggest chain in the UK, is being put into a situation to close, where does it leave the rest of us who work within the industry? You can probably tell by some of the croakiness in my voice that I'm struggling. So, you remember a few weeks ago on the podcast, and I even put the little clip out on the social media channels, that I had my soapbox moment, the hashtag Save Our Cinemas. It's more important than ever that we do this. The distributors are not helping. The distributors are pulling even the lower budget releases such as Candyman, which would have well and truly made its money back over the Halloween period in the international markets. They're pulling the big blockbusters, and they're pulling everything simply because the US isn't ready to open. The three main sections of the US that give the most amount of money, LA, New York, San Francisco, are not open. And so the distributors, the big distributors of Disney, Warner's, Universal, etc., are still thinking globally. They are still focused on getting that worldwide release, same day, same date, when in reality they need to start looking on a local level. Warner's in particular, more or less pressured theatre chains to open for Tenet. The theatre chains across the world were put into a situation of well, you need to now stop getting all your government grants to stay afloat, etc., because Tenet is going to save you. And don't worry, us guys at Warner's are here to save you. And so it released, it didn't do well in the US, even though it did well internationally, and Warner's panicked and went, hey, we're moving all our product. So Warner's bottled it. They forced cinemas to open and then bottled it. Disney moved one of their big hitters, Mulan, straight to their premium video on demand channel, after previously, a few months earlier, claiming that they would fully support cinemas when they reopen and they're looking forward to cinemas reopening. No, they've just pulled back. All the major distributors have pulled back. Lionsgate have been quite supportive, and a few of the smaller distributors are being supportive and promising to keep releasing their films. They're taking the risk. Even Netflix are showing more support than the major distributors at this point in time. Netflix have opened up access to their library of upcoming films to more theatres than what would normally have got them. Which, when a streaming giant is doing more to hashtag Save Our Cinemas than a major distributor is, you've really got to ask the question, what's going on in the world? But it's a time, more than anything, that if you love the cinema experience and you have a cinema near you that is remaining open, it's highly important that you seek out the smaller films that are getting released. I see it far too often, people saying that why should they go and see something that is going to come out onto streaming in a couple of weeks? Films like Rocks, that came out at the cinemas 2 weeks ago and is now on Netflix. Commode, 2 weeks ago, urged everyone to go and see this film. It's amazing. And people didn't go and see it. Because why go and see something that you can watch for free in a few weeks? And yet, at the same time, the people who say that will post out messages like, cinemas need to show some classics. I would love to see Back to the Future on the big screen. It's on streaming, guys. I would love to see Alien on the big screen. It's on streaming, guys. So it's a kind of hypocritical to say that you want to see something that's available on streaming on the big screen, but you don't want to see something that's going to be on streaming in 2 weeks on the big screen. Make your mind up. What is it that you really want? If you want cinemas to remain open, if you want to be able to see these blockbusters eventually down the line on the big screen, you need to embrace the wealth of films. I've seen people who have unlimited passes, infinity passes, limitless passes, whatever pass it is for the cinemas that they go to, who've said that they're thinking of cancelling because there's nothing else. There are films out. They might not be the films that you normally see, but you have a pass. Go and use it, because it doesn't cost you any more to go and experience some films that you might find yourself enjoying. Yes, this is getting to me a lot. I've worked within this industry since 2001. This is a passion for me. Film is a passion for me, in case you couldn't tell from, like, YouTube channel, podcast, blog, etc. I love this industry, and I hate to see what's happening in it at the moment. We did say on the podcast earlier this year that Cineworld had financial issues and they would struggle if business didn't get back to normal. And this is exactly what we had foreseen. This is exactly what we didn't want. And this is exactly why we started the hashtag Save Our Cinemas soapbox campaign. Almost a month now. September the 14th that I was editing that episode and posted out the initial post on it. And it's good to see that the hashtag is starting to grow on social media and more people are getting behind it. But hashtags don't have an impact unless people are physically doing something as well. So please, 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 if you love cinema, support it where you can. Check out the films that Commode is giving good praise to, or other critics are giving good praise to, even if they're not normally your cup of tea, even if you don't recognise any names in them. Check them out, because that's where you discover those films that you would have maybe caught a year down the line and gone, oh, you know what, that was actually really good. How did I miss that when it came out of the box office? You need to seek them. They are out there, whether it's at your local chains who are trying something new, or your local independent theatres who have been struggling anyway, but I've come back with a wide range of very diverse properties. The material's out there. The big distributors are not helping us. The smaller distributors are. Please join us in supporting all the cinemas. Otherwise, it's an industry gone, and you will never be able to experience that big screen feeling again. Thank you.